Can you believe it? There is a saving grace, possibly, for the Sony Spider-Man franchise and like the just overall Spidey characters at large that they're in control, that most people have written off since the failure of Morbius and since the failure of both Venom and Venom 2.
Yeah, we've talked a lot recently about the Spider-Man Sony Venom universe they've got over there at Sony, and I don't know. I haven't been filled with a whole lot of confidence. It doesn't seem like they quite know exactly what they're doing, but we did just get a little bit of hints of news today about the upcoming Craven the Hunter movie, which looks like they're kind of course correcting, steering the ship in the right direction.
The only thing we've heard of in the last few months is like updates on the Madam Web film.
Madam Web and Hypno Hustler and the Mexican wrestler guy, I don't even remember the name anymore. El Muerto. Like, it seems like, what the hell are you guys doing over there thinking about like making movies out of these guys? And then I keep forgetting, oh yeah, Craven the Hunter's got a movie like kind of closer than all of those ones.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, you know him from Kick-Ass, and I was a little concerned at first. I love Kick-Ass, by the way, and he did a fantastic role at the job, but he's like a bit more scrawny of a dude. Nope, he went to the gym, he's looking ripped, and he's taken on the Kraven role, and there was a teaser dropped over this last week. It was like a private event. Members of the audience had to like keep their phones away, so I wasn't even able to get a like leaked trailer to actually view it, but we had a lot of scoopers talking all about it. And the first big news that I think goes with your course correcting verbiage here and is going to totally change how I view potentially the Sony handling of Spider-Man projects is the R-rated film that this just got granted.
Yeah, apparently this is going to be a graphic, bloody, hardcore movie, which I guess makes sense when you consider Craven the Hunter likes to hunt and kill things. Kind of makes sense that you got an R rating here, although I wish in retrospect, we should have had an R for Venom. You know, apparently Morbius didn't have any blood in it. I still haven't subjected myself to watching Morbius, but apparently there's no blood in your vampire movie, which makes no sense.
Do you remember when we were on the airplane going to a convention and we were all watching different movies? What movie was I watching? Like The Departed?
I think you were watching The Departed for your very first time. I was very proud of you.
I was geeking out. I was pausing it. I'm like, dude, oh my God, this movie. And then we look over to the right and we're watching The Golden Age Guru, watching Morbius, and his jaw was dropped.
Glued to the screen. He was leaning forward and like we kind of sneakily recorded some video footage of him. Maybe
if I have it, I'll put it up.
Maybe we can drop it into the podcast here, but he was locked into Morbius.
And then made me feel like I needed to watch the movie.
He caught us looking at him and got like super embarrassed and guilty, but we got it on camera.
Well, apparently Aaron Taylor Johnson like went on stage at this premiere and he was in full Kraven outfit. Apparently he was like on all fours going up the stairs. He was yelling and screaming. He said this is going to be a F and R rated film, and they showed like teases of the movie. And sure enough, there is a point that is being described as him, quote, biting off Poacher's nose and spitting the remains at the camera.
That sounds pretty fun.
Right?
It's always cool when people's noses and other face parts get bitten off by somebody else. That'll make for a wild movie. Apparently, we also got confirmation that the Rhino is going to be appearing in this movie, but not the same Rhino that we last saw in live action played by Paul Giamatti in Amazing Spider-Man 2. He was like a crazy Russian tracksuit guy in a giant mech suit. You and I saw that in the movie theater. I also have not seen that movie since then. I'm glad we're getting a different version.
They're saying that he's going to go full Rhino, and it's instead of it being like a mechanized suit, that he's actually going to, quote, transform in the film. So this is something brand new. Didn't see this coming, and it makes me relook at the Sony slate differently. I'm going to like take Madam Web seriously at this point if they're willing to make these types of risks.
Yeah, I was already kind of weirdly excited for Madam Web. I think it's going to be a little bit removed.
You were excited for Madam Web?
It sounds like it could be interesting. You know, I wouldn't say I'm excited for Hypno Hustler or El Muerto or whatever the hell else we've got going on, but something about Madam Web was kind of like, that sounds weird enough to be interesting.
But dude, like why else would Childish Gambino sign up for a obscure character unless it was going to be something we didn't expect, like an R-rated film?
Yeah, no, this is good news, is all I'll say. It's good news, and I'm looking forward to more Sony stuff. Maybe now I will finally watch Venom 2.
We have talked in length about random appearances of Amazing Spider-Man issues that make the Hot 10. The comics that are the hottest in the world that we cover every single week with Gem Mint from Gem Mint Collectibles.
It's your boy Gem Mint.
And we'll randomly get this Spider key that'll hit the list. And yeah, there may be some like low-key spec pointing to the animated films or like potential MCU spec, but when it really comes down to it, I always say the same thing. There's a variable added to the collectible as it pertains to Amazing Spider-Man that makes it so that it's kind of irrelevant what's happening on the screen. It's like the most beloved character, the most collected, and almost safe investment. We've seen drops across the board for many comics, but it's routine that we'll see a random comic book spike because it's high-grade Spidey. So this right here makes me feel even more so excited about following the collectible and the potential investment value of Spidey characters that we haven't really chatted about since like the Sinister Six spec for the latest Spider-Man film.
This may feel like a weird transition, but I got to shout out Key Collector here. My favorite feature of the Key Collector app, the Key Alerts, where it just pings your phone and notifies you when certain trailers drop, when news breaks, when there's situations like this where you have a panel and stuff gets announced. We got an alert for the Rhino. We got an alert for Craven the Hunter. All of this stuff kind of combined into one big alert, and it shows you some of the important Rhino keys. One of them being Amazing Spider-Man 42. That's the Rhino's second appearance, but also the first appearance of Mary Jane Watson, where she appears at the end and says, "Face a tiger, you just hit the jackpot." They've referenced that a million billion different times throughout all the comics.
And speaking of ASM 41, what's this? We have an ASM 41 first print graded out of 5.0 that we're going to be giving away because the podcast is back, damn it. And we're going to be giving it away at the end of May. And all you need to do is sign up to our newsletter. That way, when we do the random name generator, we're able to contact you because you already have provided us your email. Link in the description. That's actually the best way to keep up with the changes that we're making to like the mail call, any updates, but also when we do drops at conventions, you'll be notified there so you don't miss them.
Yeah, we also used to do giveaways in like the comment section, like comment down below to be entered in for a chance to win, and we randomized the names that way, but we also had a lot of people jumping in and impersonating ComicTom101. No good. That didn't really work out well. It was confusing, not to mention fraudulent and sketchy. So yeah, we're just doing it this way. It's a lot easier. Just head to ComicTom101.com and sign up for the newsletter.